Now then, how's everyone doing? Good to see you. There's some fighting talk going on in the comments, guys. Come on. Imi is first place in the comments. Well done. Nice. Love it. Love the fact that there's a little bit of competition going on and who can get in first. How early were you? I nearly said 45 minutes. No, you weren't 45 minutes. 15 minutes. Jackson has left the conversation and is rejoining. You've rejoined on 2 devices. Nope. Kick from studio. So yeah, that's amazing. Well done, Imi. I love how Michael. Michael's wanting the top spot. Normally it is you, mate. To be fair, you were 15 minutes early. Was it yesterday? So people are going to be turning up like hours early because it's quite a sought after. Imi with the fighting talk. Good luck, Michael. Love it. Hi, Amy. How you doing? Good to see you. Steve Harris. Good to see you guys. Hi, Maggie. Who else is here? Got Jackson in the comments. So Jackson Lake is my guest tonight, and he'll be popping up in the comments. Apparently, he's already on it. Love it. Steve, how you doing, man? Good to see you. The doors to get you. Fighting talk, I love it. I don't know if people have come over from the Dunwells stream, but with the Dunwells and Gary Linley, that was probably one of my favourite streams they've done. So if you missed it, please go back and watch it because it was hilarious. Dave was on fire. Joe's performance was incredible. Gary was absolutely hilarious as well, and his songs that he was playing, his Beatles acoustically speaking, I just absolutely love the way that he plays those tracks. But nonetheless, the show itself was absolutely incredible, and I definitely recommend, if you haven't already watched it, to go back and watch it. It was really funny. Dave honestly said some... In fact, both Dave and Gary were hilarious. I mean, Joe's like always funny anyways, but I was barely laughing at some of the stuff Dave said. And anyway, please go watch it. It's really good. Oh, and Joe's version of Yesterday. Bloody hell. That guy, man. How are you doing, Jackson? Are you struggling still? We had a few technical issues. Hopefully we're doing all right. Can everyone hear me all right? We're not. It's not falling apart at this end. I'm okay, I think. Can we get some comments? Is it sounding all right in the comments? Jackson, give me a thumbs up if you're happy, mate. You are? Okay, good. That's all. You won't be able to hear you. You're not live yet. You just sit back and have a beer, mate. Backstage. Craig, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Craig, mate, I totally forgot to call you. We need to get on with that Logic thing. I put it in my diary and I just totally forgot to get back to you. Sorry, man. The day ran away from me. So let's get back in touch. How's everyone's day been, anyways? All right? Oh, I'm glad you forgot as well. That's all right then. I don't feel so bad. I've got another confession to make. I'm your fool, and everyone's got a chains to break. Holding you, were you born to resist, to be abused? best, the best, the best of you. Is someone getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you? Are you gonna run to someone new? I needed somewhere to hang my head without your news. You gave me something I didn't have and had no use. I was too weak to give in, too strong to lose. My heart is under arrest again, but I'll break loose. My head is giving me life or death, but I can't choose. I swear I'll never give in, I refuse. Is someone getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you? Is someone getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you? Someone taking your faith, it's real. The pain you feel, your trust, you must confess. Is someone getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you? Oh, oh, oh. Is someone getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you? Is someone getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you? Thanks a lot, everyone. Cheers. Thanks, Steve. Cheers, man. I appreciate that. David is in the house. How you doing, man? Good to see you. I'm looking forward to our show. It's coming up soon. I can't remember what day it is, but it's coming up. Sounding good. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was for you, Amy. For some reason, you're mad at me. I don't know why. I think it's really funny because Amy's not at all mad at me, but you know when you live with someone and for some reason they're just being quiet, and I was just like, why are you mad at me? Why are you mad at me? Why are you mad at me? And then before I knew it, she was like, I'm not mad at you! Oh dear, it's really funny. Anyway. Amy, not a problem at all. Just take it one step at a time. Being a musician is hard graft. Just take it one step at a time. That's all it is. I'm not mad. I was trying to concentrate. I know you are because you're doing that sewing or whatever it was, but it was still really funny. For me anyways, not so much for you. Right, guys, I'm going to stop waffling on. I'm going to jump right into introducing my guest. Hopefully we've sorted out the technical issues. He's jumped offline a few times and he's back now. He's giving me the thumbs up. So let's have a huge warm welcome for Jackson Lake. Last time he came on, actually, he stepped in for someone that fell ill, and it was sort of like a last minute thing, and then we booked this one in. And now he's like, honestly, he's totally on it with this whole streaming thing. Before he was doing it on his phone, and now he's like mics and loop pedals and harmony pedals and I don't know, all sorts. He's really on it. So let's introduce him. Big warm welcome, Jackson Lake. Hey man.
Hello.
I'm nervous. Oh, I can hear you. Thank God for that. So what were you saying to me?
I was having some issues at this end.
Right, okay. So you've come back on. You must have been really quiet because I mean, your mic was on the whole time. I don't know if people.
Oh,
could
really?
Hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I just imagine you just like effing and jeffing and like just throwing your phone and stuff.
If they've heard me burping and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, I didn't hear you, so I'm sure it'll be fine. How's things, anyways, man? Good to see you.
Very well, thank you. Yeah, yeah, nice to see you as well. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Other than technical issues aside, I'm always having technical issues. I'm not meant to live in this century.
Yeah, well, you say that you've absolutely embraced it, man. I love the fact that you've just from
I'm getting
that. You were doing a bit of streaming before you came on this one, but it was all just through your phone, weren't it? And then not long
Yeah,
after that,
yeah, just kind of like just I just plugged in and went really, you know.
and then you were like, "Oh, how can I?"
Sorry, I've got a bee in the room.
A bee? Oh man,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Oh god, I would be out of that room faster than you can say whatever. Seriously, I'm
It keeps
terrified
buzzing
of
around.
bees and wasps. I mean, the idea of a bee being in that room is freaking me out, and I'm not even in that room.
It's freaking me out as well. Like, if I keep going like this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. There's bees and wasps, man. Anything else doesn't really scare me. Like tigers, crocodiles, all like that don't scare me. But obviously, a tiny little bee. I mean, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you've really embraced the online thing, man. You're smashing it. You stream like every other night now, don't you? You're like on it quite often.
I did for a while. I've calmed down this sort of last 2 weeks, but because I've just had a lot of other things going on. But yeah, I like to do it as often as possible, just to keep myself sane. I think, you know,
Yeah.
I gig a lot. Well, I did gig a lot, you know, and it's just to keep yourself sane. I think you know, if musicians out there, I think you'll probably get what I'm saying there. It's quite an addictive thing, isn't it? I think gigging. So
Yeah, absolutely. I think if it's you know, fulfilling that need that you usually crave when when you're playing live, and if you're able to do it and find a new way of doing that release, then great. You know, performing live on through this medium is just as good, I think. In some instances, actually, sometimes you can find you playing to bigger audiences. It's quite funny, really. Like, you know, you can put on a stream and you'll have a couple of hundred people. I've seen you've had quite busy streams from time to time. Are you losing me again?
yeah, definitely, yeah. I am losing you a little bit. Yeah,
I could
it's
see
kind
the
of going like
concentration in your
on and off.
face. You're like,
Yeah. What's he saying?
people.
If
ask that
if I
every
agree to
time.
something that sounds a bit weird, then
Yeah.
I've just agreed to block pave your driveway.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So, but yeah, you have a good core following listening to you and checking out your stuff.
It's you know, it's getting there. Yeah, it's quite astounded, really. You know, because I didn't think I had any fans at all, really.
Really,
But
no, I think
people keep coming back, and
it's
you
good,
know,
man.
people keep coming back, and they're asking for my own songs, which is nice. You know, I can't say fairer than that. You know.
No, absolutely. So we're currently working on your album at the moment as well, which is obviously exciting
We are.
times.
We are.
So how
I'm so impressed already.
it's good, man. So am I, man. The songs are great. Like we were talking about it a little bit before, and they're just so well crafted songs. They're just really good country songs, really good pop country songs. They've got
Thank you, man.
great melodies, great structures, and they pretty much write themselves when it comes to the production. It's brilliant. It's a lot of fun to work on. I'll be
Thank you,
honest.
man. That's nice.
What's the gap between the last album and this one? How has it been a long time coming?
The last one came out on the 1st of January 2018.
I said not that much really. I suppose it is actually. We're in 2020, aren't we? I
Yeah.
just forget what year.
So it'd be 2 years or even longer, won't it, by the time we finish? But you know, the last one I did it in one day. It was just acoustic and vocal. I just stood in front of a mic and just sang the songs.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all we did. It was mixed that night. I think I had it out on Spotify and everything within a week.
What? I mean, I knew you were efficient,
So-
but that's in a league of its own, is that? Mate?
I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, there's no sort of. It sounds good, I think. You know, I stand up to that, but it's just acoustic and voice. There's no other instruments on there at all. It's all just live. It's pretty much live, really.
Yeah. I
didn't do them separate. I just played the whole thing live.
Well, I mean, obviously, if it worked for what it was at the time, then that's great. It's just, I think it's nice I mean, obviously, I can't speak for you, but knowing the songs now, as I'm working with you more, like it really is nice to hear them coming alive. You know, like hearing the full production.
I'm
and the
loving it,
drums
to be
and
honest, man. You know,
harmonies and the
it's some
keys and
it's just everything I've wanted to do with the songs, really. You know, at the time I did the second album, I was just playing live a lot, and I wanted something that kind of wanted what I was doing live, which was just on my own. So it sort of made sense just to put something out that was just me and a guitar. Really.
yeah. Just before we carry on,
and you know, to be honest, I go on.
No, you go ahead. You just finish your sentence, and then I'll tell you what.
I was just going to say that you know, I sold the bulk of those albums out busking, which was just me and on my own with a guitar. So you know, it's what they got was what they were hearing. So it was nice to do it that way.
I mean, you are extremely tight though, mate. You like the fact, and going back to how efficient you are as well. The fact that you like when we were started working on the album, you had a job of sending me 12 songs in their raw form, so I had something to go at. And I sent you an email on the evening, and within that same evening, I think probably a couple of hours, I'd already received all 12 songs in like demo form. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
I'm just
you didn't need to do that till tomorrow, Jackson. Come on. You were like, I'm done.
I'm just a bit hyperactive, you know.
You could tell.
Let's not lie. I'm just a bit hyperactive.
You could tell that you've got the love for the songs, though. You really believe in the songs, and you really believe in what you're saying, and you know.
I think you've got to. I think you have to. You know, for it to translate to anybody, I think you've got to believe what you're doing, because people will be able to tell that immediately. You know. Mm-hmm. If you're just playing something because it's what it is, then you're never going to capture anyone's excitement there.
Yeah. No, man, you're doing a great thing. You're doing a really good job. What I was going to say before when I interrupted you a minute ago was, is there anyone by any chance in the house that's streaming or using your internet? Or is it just you at the moment?
There is probably someone using my internet, yes. He'll be downstairs on his Xbox.
Right, okay. That will be why there is a lag, and that it's probably glitching, because it keeps cutting out a little bit. Well, we can persist with it, and we can see how we get on. Or I don't know if it's a situation where you can't be like, would you mind just jumping off the Xbox for a bit? But if that's not a thing, we'll just persist.
We'll just carry on. We'll just carry on. It saves wars.
Fine, no worries, man. Well, in that case, I think are you doing originals or covers tonight? What I think.
I'm going to play originals tonight, if that's all right with you.
Perfect, man. Absolutely. Are you? I'm assuming you're going to do some stuff off the album, because I mean, during soundcheck you started playing a song that you freshly wrote today as well. That was crazy. Really
I'm not going to play that. I've only got half of.
It sounded great. What I'd heard, but yeah, what are you?
not bad on the park, I don't think.
No, exactly, man. What are you going to open up with tonight? What track are you opening up?
Go and say that again, man. Right, I'm going to play "Country to Me," which is going to be out as a single very soon, as you know.
Yeah, I do. That is a banger, mate. Honestly, I can't wait for people to hear it. Yeah, well, maybe you could play that, and then we can elaborate a little bit more on it afterwards.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll hand you over, man.
Never hitched a ride down an old dusty road. Never chased the sun across the open plain. But I've sailed out on the wild and wind, even though that's not the same. This is where my feet touch the ground. This is where my heart will always be found. This ain't Tennessee, but it feels like country to me. Never felt the desert wind touch on my skin. Never seen a tumbleweed blowing in the wind. But when I see that man dancing on the line, I'll know that I'm alive. 'Cause this is where my feet touch the ground. This is where my heart will always be found. This ain't Tennessee, but it feels like country to me. Never felt so lost, not until I was found. Never been a stranger to myself in my own hometown. I guess it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. Your soul is gonna take you where it wants you. 'Cause this is where my feet touch the ground. This is where my heart will always be found. This ain't Tennessee, but it feels like country to me. This is where my feet touch the ground. This is where my heart will always be found. This ain't Tennessee, but it feels like country to me.
Yeah, boy. So good, mate. Love it.
Thank you. Cheers.
Amazing. I can't help but hear all the slide now. You know, when you play it, I still hear all the slide, man.
Were you air guitar in the slide there?
I'll be honest, man. Halfway through it, I thought, is my microphone on? Because I was really singing and I was doing all the harmony and stuff. And then I looked and luckily I was muted. But I thought for a second, I didn't
hear anything.
Well, no, I'm glad you didn't, because not only will it be latency, but obviously I'd be belting it out and putting you off. But that was really good, mate. I love that song. Really, really good representation.
Somebody did.
Go ahead.
Somebody did it to me last night in a live stream. As I was playing, they commented one of the lyrics, and it was just about as I was going to play that lyric, sing that lyric, and I read it, and it put me wrong.
Oh man, people in the comments there causing trouble. I was going to say that's a true representation of what to expect, especially with the full production one that we're about to put out. I say we, it's you, really. You know, I'm just working with you on it. But I think it's a really good first choice of song. It feels really natural, doesn't it, to put that out?
You know, yeah, it does. And you know, I think I was saying to you earlier on, I think it's a very apt sort of precursor to what to expect from the album. I think really,
which is it's going to be a banger. I'm really excited for it.
I think so. I'm so happy hearing how it's turned out.
Yeah, it's good.
Especially how we've done it, because you know we've not done any of it in person.
No, none of it. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of it's down to collaboration. Remind me the name of the guitarist who's been sending stems over. He's brilliant.
He is. Yeah. It's an old friend of mine called Topher Holland. I don't know if anyone, but I used to play some open mic nights with him years ago. I've not actually seen him for years.
Yeah.
But I kind of keep in touch with him on Instagram, and I put a little post out saying, "Does anyone fancy playing some instruments?" And he said he'd be happy to play some guitar, which was, I was over the moon with that because he's a great guitar player. Honestly,
he's done a fantastic job, and I think that's a real good lesson for anyone that's sort of wanting to pursue music, anyways. Is you just got to sometimes dare to reach out, because like if you hadn't have asked that question, who knows what what we would have been doing differently. Would the song have sounded the way it does if it wasn't for his influence on it as well? I think that daring to reach out,
who knows? Yeah,
it's a good thing. I think so. kudos to you for there, mate. That's really cool. Right. I think we had a question in the comments. If we have any questions, please get them in the comments. One question we did have. Where was it?
Steve, I think it was.
Yep. Oh yeah. Who
are your influences and heroes?
Yeah.
Well, that's
besides me.
It's a very broad question, isn't it? That at the moment, I'd say people like Luke Combs and Urban and people like that. But I grew up on Oasis, Paul Weller, the Beatles, the Jam, that kind of thing. I was kind of obsessed with that for a while, but that led into like Neil Young and Bob Dylan, and I suppose there's a lot in there. I'm very sort of into my country music at the moment, but there's other stuff going on in the background there, I'm sure.
Yeah, man, definitely. I think country music's quite what's the word? Universally, like it's very moldable. I feel like there's a lot of influence from everywhere. I think it's just all the best bits of music, pop music and rock music and whatnot.
I'm happy to take that.
But it really is I'll be honest. Like I don't think I realised how much
Jackson,
I liked
your
country.
album is going to be all the best bits of all the music.
There you go. There's a review.
I'm taking that quote. Yeah. I'm putting that on the post.
I mean, to be fair, I did say country music, but you can take it as you if you want. That's fine.
I'll paraphrase.
Yeah, just take the bit that you want. That's it. Great. So, but yeah, what was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. If you do have any questions, by the way, please get them in the comments. I'm sure we can answer them, and we'll get through them and stuff. But have you always had this this vision of having an album like this, the more rocky side of stuff, or the more full band side of stuff? Has it just been a timing
definitely.
thing?
Yeah.
Really?
For me, I've always this is probably, it's going to sound like a romantic thing or whatever, but this is the album I've always wanted to make. Yeah. It is, I've always wanted to make something a bit bigger. But I've kind of been a little scared to take the plunge, I think. So I've kind of gone down the more basic route, if you will.
Yeah.
But you can't keep doing that forever. I've got to, I think these songs stand up, and I believe in them. So why not put everything I've got into them?
100%, mate. And again, another thing that I'd like to just touch on is, aside from having a vision and of where you wanted the songs to potentially be down the line, that's not stopped you from doing something. In the lead up to this, those two previous albums you've done are a vital part of the puzzle to get you to where you are now. Does that make sense? And performing regularly.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And all that sort, and just learning your craft and learning how to write songs properly and that kind of stuff.
Definitely. I was looking at some old songbooks this week, in fact, and the first song in the first book is from April 2002, but that I've been writing songs since before that. I must have thrown a load of songs out before that, but so I'm probably on 20 years of writing songs now. I should hope I can write something a little bit better than I could 20 years ago. So,
I mean, obviously you're gonna learn the tricks of the trade, and you're gonna know what you like about melody and know what you like about chord progression and stuff, and that's when I don't think there's any necessarily right or wrong way to write a song. It's just your influence and your taste grows.
There isn't. And I was gonna, it's one of those things that I don't really know anything about music.
Me neither.
I don't really want to be fair. I just, if it sounds good, I'll let it go with it.
I agree with that. 100%.
If I knew much about music, I think I might be down by some rules. I think.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think in your nature you'd probably adapt, but I do agree. I think it's just each to their own. I think. It doesn't work for me knowing what I'm doing. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm exactly the same as you, mate. I think. I feel like it would be a restriction, but who knows? Maybe it wouldn't. Might open a new door.
Mm.
Who knows? There was a
Maybe,
question.
maybe I should learn to play violin or something.
Maybe broaden your horizons. What else do you play other than guitar? Do you play any other instruments?
Play a little bit of bass. I've whacked a couple of drums before, but never very well.
Fair enough.
I've written a couple of songs on piano, but I don't know how to play piano.
Me neither.
Yeah, just about that really. I'm not very. I play guitar. That'll do. I whack the guitar. That'll do.
You play it well. I like the way that you play. Very strong and solid rhythm, but you add a lot of accents. It's almost like playing the bass at the same time, and like you've got a lot of melody in your guitar playing. It's not just first position chords all the time. You've got hammer-ons and really good.
Yeah, I think if you're a solo player, you've got to add something that makes it a bit more rhythmic than just strumming a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do all the whole tapping the guitar thing or looping or anything like that. But I think sometimes you've got to make the dynamic sound a bit better so that you're not just a guy playing a guitar,
Absolutely. Just remind me as well, the song Country to Me, sorry, is that, when's that due out? Is there a date?
That's going to be released on all the Spotify, Apple Music type places, 25th of this month. That's Monday the 25th.
That's well good.
There's also a little lyric video that I've done for YouTube.
Very good. That's great. That is a fast turnaround. Like we've turned that song around so quick. Gone from like,
I know. I can't believe how quick it is. I can't believe how quick it's been.
I think
but
I did.
What's the point messing about?
I think I only did. That might have been my second mix, first master, and you were like, "Yeah, perfect." I was like, "Brilliant, love it."
Yeah, that's it. Boom.
Yeah.
I literally put the headphones on, and it was just like my face just went ding.
Cheshire Cat, nice. Cool. All right, so let's have a look and see. There was a question. Growing up, did you always know you were going to be a musician?
I didn't know that I was going to be, but that's pretty much what I've always wanted to do. That's probably the only thing I've ever really wanted to do. So I just did it.
That's a great bit of advice there.
It
actually genuinely is. I know it sounded really sarcastic, but it really is a brilliant piece of advice. Just do it.
It took me a long time to sort of make it a craft, if you will. I decided to quit my job in 2016 and do music full time, and it was a bit of a big leap. But I thought, you know what? If I don't do it now, I never will. So I've wanted to do it all my life. What's stopping me? My kids have still got food. My bills are paid.
Yeah.
And I get to play. I get to sing songs, and it's
amazing, brilliant.
I'm not dreaming of being famous, but I get to sing songs and live my life. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's something that I'm a huge advocate of, is having a clear vision of what it is you're wanting to achieve. If you wanted to achieve fame, then I'm sure you would reach for that. But you set yourself a goal of wanting to perform and play, and then once you have an idea of what it is you want to achieve and what you want to do, it just becomes more realistic, doesn't it? Like, don't get me wrong, if you wanted stardom, you can get there, but it's going to take you a little longer. But you'd set out the
and
the things in place that you need to do to get there.
Do you know what I mean? I don't look like I'm in a boy band, so I'm probably not going to make it.
Well, you might make it in a country boy band. I don't know.
That's where country music fits in, because like bearded older guys tend to
perfect succeed. Yeah. Nice. So there was another question as well. This is a really good question. So are the guys who've played on the album up for doing some live gigs after the lockdown?
Well, I'm hoping so. No plans are in place yet, because we're a long way off finishing the whole thing. But possibly, I would hope I will have some form of band to play a few gigs with. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. 100%, man. Right, I think we
So
should.
if there's anyone out there that wants to play in a band and fancies playing my songs, get in touch.
Yeah, drop him an email. Do you want to jump into a song, mate? I think we should hear another song from you. I really
why
want
not?
to make sure we get them
Why not?
get them off you today. Yeah, I'll leave it with you. Take it away, dude.
Right, this is called All We Need Is a Road.
Jackson.
Monday morning, 6 a.m. Gotta drag myself out of bed again. Doing the 9 to 5, trying to stay alive. Yeah, we gotta make it work somehow. When I met you, we were 17. I saw the fire in your eyes when you smiled at me. Now we're 35 and we're still alive. That flame still burns inside of me. But sometimes it's good to get away, just so you realize how far you came. All we need is a road and a song, making sunny day memories of you and me. If you got the time, let me take the wheel. Roll the windows down and we can be anything we want to be. So anywhere you want to go, all we need is a road. On a Friday, it's like another world. Spend the whole week getting back to work. Yeah, the same old faces, the same old places. It's good that some things never change, but sometimes it's good to get away, so you can see the light brighter than yesterday. But all we need is a road and a song, making sunny day memories of you and me. If you got the time, let me take the wheel. Roll the windows down and we can be anything. So anywhere you wanna go, all we need is a road. All we need is a road and a song, making sunny day memories of you and me. If you got the time, let me take the wheel. Roll the windows down and we can be anything we want to be. So anywhere you want to go, all we need is a road. Anywhere you want to go, all we need is a road.
Amazing, mate.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Love it. Great work. A lot of love in the comments. Great work. So
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Is that another one on the album? Because obviously I haven't heard all 12 songs properly yet. I've not got into the nitty gritty of all of it.
We've not done that one yet.
That's going to be a good one. It's going to be another
It's buried
one.
in your email somewhere.
Oh God, I honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to get through all these emails. It's killing me at the moment. Anyway, and I hate admin. I hate admin. Someone please work for me and be my secretary or
You need
whatever
an
they're called.
assistant,
That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Secretary. What am I on about?
an intern, and then you
An
don't have to pay
intern.
them.
Oh, that's the best way. Do you want to be my intern, Jackson?
I'm that hyperactive. I'd probably say yes.
Right. Okay. We'll talk after the show. Honestly, mate, that sounded really good. I'm looking forward to getting my teeth into that one. It's going to be.
Thank you.
It's going to
Thank
be
you.
another good song. So,
I didn't write that one until after we'd planned the whole thing.
Oh, really? So that's still a new one. That's a baby.
That's about 3 weeks old. That one.
Wow, that's insane. That's really good, man. Brilliant.
I'll be able to make an album of outtakes that I've dropped.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You should. I mean, you should definitely. Maybe you could compile. Especially now you've got a lot of the technology at home. Maybe you could compile together a bigger list of B-sides. You know, and
That's it. I'll get on GarageBand and record another album to compete with myself in the charts.
just take all the,
For the top
charting
spot.
positions. Yeah. Basically, do what Ed Sheeran did.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
If I've not got the top 10, then I'm just. What's the point? You know.
Yeah. What is the point? Come on. Yeah, I agree. So, mate, exciting times are ahead as well because, like, you are absolutely smashing it when it comes to this Kickstarter you've got going on as well. 70%, aren't you at already? On your first week.
We're 10 days in. 10 days
Wow.
in, right? And I've hit 70%.
That's just insane. So good. Man.
I'm absolutely gobsmacked, to be honest.
It's
You know, the kindness and generosity of people has just been outstanding. I can't even believe it. You know.
because obviously it's expensive putting together an album, let alone recording it, and like the production.
Yeah.
The
You know,
the
not to mention actually
distribution,
making the. You know, yeah.
everything. You know, getting the players in and everything else. You know, it's not just one thing. And obviously, yes, you might be calling in favors here and there and stuff, but it's just, you know, people's generosity and like, you know, you must be absolutely blown away to get those kind of like that kind of percentage in such a short space of time. It's really good, man.
I'm gobsmacked. I just don't know how to express the feeling of, you know, people getting behind you on something. It's outstanding. I can't thank people enough, really. You know,
Best way to thank them is put out a banging album. That's all I'd say.
it's really, you know, it sounds sort of silly, but it really is making a dream come true. You know,
I feel like we're on X Factor right now. You know, like the sob story in background.
the sub story. Yeah.
Oh,
in a lawnmower accident.
Oh man. Right, okay. Do you do the lyrics first or do you come up with the tune first? What's your writing process?
Sometimes it's different. Mostly it's lyrics because that's my thing. I will sit for hours and hours and just write words. And if I feel like I've got something that might be a song, I'll go and pick a guitar up.
That's cool.
But I'll just sit down with the guitar and something will come out and then a word will pop out of my head and there we go. You know, 10 minutes later I've got a full song. So.
Mate, I wish I could write like that. I don't.
But do you know what? On the initial songs, I really don't spend that much time. It's more once it's written, then sort of, you know, tweaking it here and there. But and I will probably I'll sit for hours with a set of lyrics and, you know, go over the phrasing so it sounds proper. You know, it sounds like it should do, and
yeah,
that's probably the biggest thing for me.
That's cool. I love the fact that it's slightly different for every musician. Really, it's quite interesting to see people's technique. I mean,
it's one of those things, isn't it?
Amy was bullying me a little bit yesterday, and she was like, "Is the reason why you ask everyone how they write songs so you can learn how to write songs?" I was like, "You cheeky." I couldn't believe she said it. But
you getting tips.
Yeah. Apparently, maybe she's
there's no cheat sheet. I don't think, is there?
Well, that's it. That's what I tried to explain to her, but she wouldn't understand. Anyways, but yeah, I think it's exciting times all round, and obviously we've touched on the Kickstarter and the album, and previous releases and stuff like that. Is there anything else that you sort of want to talk about in general, or I guess sort of round off the show and whatnot?
Well, just if anyone is interested in my original music, I look at my Facebook page, Instagram. I post new videos all the time. There's if you do want to help out with the album, starters there, you'd be very appreciated. New single out on the 25th of May. Because
you're putting
pretty much all we got to say, really.
You're putting a lot more content. You're putting a lot more effort and content into your YouTube channel now at the moment. In fact, that's probably somewhere that you want to traffic people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I try and post at least a couple of videos, different songs and stuff. But people, I'm very open to requests. If anyone wants a specific song or anything, I'll have a go.
Sweet. I request. Do you like Coldplay?
No. I don't mind him.
Can you do Charlie Brown by Coldplay? Not now. For me, later on.
I don't know it. Maybe I'll have a look.
Yeah. Check it out. That's my request. If you play that,
the only Coldplay song that I do is the easiest song in the whole entire world.
Go on. Which one's that?
That one. You can pretty much do that on. You can pretty much do that on a loop pedal. Play it once and just let it go.
Really, that's cool. That's good to know.
It's just that all the way through. There's no difference.
Well, that's good. I think that's a sign of a good song as well.
Although I'm going to get a musician in the comments going out. Well, actually, you play a seventh chord there.
Probably.
What's that?
Imi asked, "What advice would you give to musicians trying to make it?"
How do you define it?
What was that? You broke up.
If you get famous, I don't know. If you want to just be successful and do it because you love it, then just do it and find a way.
I couldn't have said it better. Brilliant. Great answer.
Find a way to do what you love. Because why do something you don't love? Why 100%. My granddad once came up with a bit of advice about saying. My mum tells me this story. I think my granddad told it to my dad. Why make money for someone else when you can use your talents to make money for yourself?
Yeah, 100%. I used to say it all the time.
So if they're out there, thanks, Dad.
When I used to work for a printing firm, and that printing firm looked after me. They were the nicest people, and they were ace. But they saw that I didn't like working for someone else, paving the way for someone else's. I used to call it empire when I should be building my own empire.
That's it, yeah.
And then I realised what my empire was. And my empire is nothing more or nothing less than just being happy. I know that sounds a bit corny, but playing music and working for myself makes me happy. I mean, it might not make me happy every single day. It's not all roses, but that's all I want.
Yeah.
So I did.
How much of our lives do we spend working? Why be miserable at it? If you love your job, then fair enough.
I think that's
great. But I didn't like my job, so
I think that's the grey area, and I think that's why it's really confusing. Is because it's defining. No two people can say the same thing. Yes, you might have a similar vision to me, and I might have a similar vision to you, but it won't be exactly the same. What would be? So that's. The one thing I always err on the side of caution is not to take away from anyone else's achievements or their role and whatever it might be. They might have a job that I personally would never dream of doing, but they might absolutely love that job, or vice versa. They might look at me and go, I could not do what you do right now. They couldn't think of anything worse. That's okay, but it's assessing what works for you.
It's all about finding what your passion is, and if that's what you're doing, then great. Carry on doing it.
Absolutely, man.
Everybody's different.
Absolutely.
It's taken me a long, long time to find that in myself, I think, to be fair.
Well, that's it. And it doesn't happen overnight. You can't expect it to either. Like, I fight with myself all of the time. even now, sometimes I question, am I doing the right thing? But it's going back to the same common theme, is there's no such thing as perfection. So like I guess the long and short of it is you can't expect it to be absolutely perfect, because it never will be. But as long as the majority of the time you're happy and you can get satisfaction from doing what you're doing, then you're on to a winning formula. How long would you say it took you to dare to do it, like to dare to take the leap of to pursuing?
Oh, a long time. You know, as long as I was doing it until 2016.
Yeah.
I think I made a decision at the end of 2015 that I was going to set up myself as a business, singing. I still had my job at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just getting ground down and not getting where I wanted to get to in the job. And I just thought, you know what? I'm getting stressed out here. This is not doing me any good. And I just, I went off sick, and I took a while off, and I just cleared my head. And, it was just one of those things where I had to do it, because if I didn't do it, I didn't want to be one of those people that grew up and thought, oh, I wish I'd done that.
Yeah.
Even if it failed, what's there's plenty of other jobs out there.
Yeah. But I think just to be clear as well, like, just to reiterate what we were saying then, that the way that you did that is your story, and that was the way you dealt with the situation. So like, no, that's not necessarily advice for people to go quit a job,
No, absolutely not.
Like
no.
Because it's
Disclaimer.
The only reason why I'm chiming in there is because it's different. It was different for me. Like, I got made redundant. When I got made redundant, I had no idea what I wanted to do. But instead of dwelling on the fact that I was made redundant, I then decided to start working for myself and building. And for the first 2 years, I'd made barely any money, and I barely stayed afloat. But I did what I needed to do, and I've been self-employed now for 10 years. I've worked for myself for 10 years,
right,
which is crazy considering I'm only 31. So I took the leap then, but I was that was the card I was dealt. I was forced to do it. I just wanted to put a bit of context in for anyone that might watch this and just think, oh great, the answer is to go quit my job. It isn't the answer.
No. Don't put that ball in my court.
No. But what I'm just wanted to, because obviously it worked for you, and it's great that it worked for you. But it has to work. You have to. It has to be.
Oh, you've got to make an informed decision, I think, rather than just be spur of the moment. For me, it was different because I had kids to feed. If you've not got much in the way of overheads, it's probably an easier decision.
Yeah. Right. We've got another quick question. Amy's saying Jackson said it, not me. So that's the disclaimer.
I just read that. Yeah.
So basically, I've covered my ass. But
25 people going to work. Jackson said, quit. I quit my job because I like singing.
Oh God, that would be so bad, but so funny at the same time. What did the family think of you turning to music instead of a proper job?
Do you know what? My mum and dad have always been the most supportive people of my music ever. I can't thank them enough for that. I think they had reservations. We've not really talked about it, but I imagine they had reservations. But at the end of the day, they've always just wanted me to be happy. So
yeah, and
I'm happy.
And
they continue to support me to this day. So couldn't ask for better parents, really.
Exactly, mate. I think if you turned around to them and said, I want to be a truck driver, they would probably have reservations about that as well, because they'll think of a scenario where you're doing long miles or whatever it might be. They're going to have worry regardless of what they're doing. It's their job to worry about their kids, kind of thing. That's what parents do. So I think that regardless of what career you pursued, obviously there's going to be worry of whatever it may be. It just so happened that you were pursuing music.
Yeah,
was-
yeah.
But it's good though, man. I'm chuffed that you're able to do it and you're doing it. It's good. I would love to get another song off you, and then we'll wrap up the show because I'm trying to be a bit more strict
Yeah,
on
man.
myself and finish on time. But yeah, let's have another tune from you, and then any final words,
Cool.
any
Thank you,
final
man.
comments. We maybe do if there's a few questions, we'll do like a quick fire round. Right, take it away, mate. Oh, by the way, you haven't been putting your reverb on. Did you know that?
Oh,
You sounded great, but I just wanted to let you know.
what about this voice?
Not that again. Oh God, you had me in stitches earlier, mate. Honestly, that was so funny. Right, go ahead.
Right, thank you. This is a song called "Take Comfort." Shadow falls on the horizon. There's a storm rolling in now from the west. It's time to find out what we're made of. It may be time to put the floodgates to the test. So I'll find a car and I'll come get you. Take you away from here. We don't even have to say a word. I'll take comfort just to know you're near. Have you ever felt the lightning burning as it pours into the corners of your soul? I've never been that good at running. You'd always catch me half a minute down the road. So I'll find a car and I'll come get you. Take you away from here. We don't even have to say a word. I'll take comfort just to know you're near. The butterflies are flying high, around and round they go. Fly on ever further on to find your home. The butterflies are flying high, around and round they go. Fly on ever further onwards. Find your home. I'll find a car and I'll come get you. Take you away from here. We don't even have to say a word. I'll take comfort just to know you're near. I'll take comfort just to know you're near. I'll find a car. I'll find a car. Oh, I'll find a car. I'll find a car. Oh, and I'll get you.
Good work, mate. Love
Thank
it.
you.
That's another banger as well. I've loved working on that one. That's such a tune. I'm really looking forward to when that one comes out as well.
I'm looking forward to them all, man. It just I keep smiling like a Cheshire cat every time you send me one of these songs.
Oh man, I need to crack on with the next one. Really, I need to get on with it. I'll schedule some time in and we'll just get going.
All right, get on with it then.
Yes, boss. Right, I think we had fine. We pretty much touched on everything. I think I'm really happy with how it's gone tonight. Obviously, if you get a chance to head over to Jackson's Facebook and Instagram, and then maybe even his Kickstarter campaign, and help support him in whatever way you can, even if it's just sharing it kind of thing. I'm sure he'll be massively appreciative of it. Yeah, I've put his Instagram and his Facebook on the page, on the screen rather.
Thank you.
Yeah, please head over and show him some love and do what you do best, guys. Any?
I would be beholden to you.
Any final words?
Thank you very much for having me again, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for
I hope
coming on,
everybody's
man.
enjoyed it.
It's been a lot of fun, definitely. I think we should do it again soon, sometime soon. In
Definitely.
5-6 weeks. I'll probably still be doing that.
When someone's not lagging all my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I would definitely consider. I should have told you that before, and I need to have a bit of a checklist of telling people what they need to do and what they and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm learning as I go, like everybody else. So it's all good. It's been great nonetheless.
Thank you.
Right, man. Let's make like a leaf and get out of here. Thank you so much, dude. You have a good evening, man. I'll speak to you soon.
You too, man. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. I'm massively grateful for the continued support, and please do, if you get a chance, to head over to Jackson's page. I'm sure he'll absolutely love you guys if you just show him some love, or even share his Kickstarter or whatever it may be. He's truly a great musician, and he's a pleasure to be working with. And I'm pleased that I'm getting an opportunity and a chance to be a part of this little next chapter of his musical career. His album's sounding great. Anyways, yeah, I guess I'll see you all tomorrow. I do this every single night. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. I massively appreciate it. Eking my way to 1,000 subs. We'll get there one day. But I'm really happy with the growth of the channel and the continued support. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you all very soon. Have a good evening. Good night.